I just happen to come up hard. I just come from the poet's part. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it bright like city life. I gotta make it. It's a big rich town. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Since Day One. Before we get into this video update today about Tupac Shakur, and also today we have in attendance Diddy as well as Keefe D and Tupac's brother Mopreme Shakur, and last but not least we have Suge Knight. And before we get into this video today, you guys go ahead and like the video, comment down below, and if you are new, smash that subscribe button to take flight with us.
Fake love, I don't need it, you can keep it, that's a fact. I had to make up my mind. I took that weight on my shoulder. I done been down.
Alright you guys, let's dive into one of the biggest mysteries in hip-hop history, the tragic death of Tupac Shakur. For over 2 decades, conspiracy theories and whispers have surrounded this case, but now some of the most shocking rumors involve none other than the music mogul Diddy himself. Was he truly involved, or is this just another internet myth? In this video, we're exploring all the twists and turns from leaked stories to alleged witnesses that keep this case alive in the minds of fans worldwide. Make sure to stick around and decide for yourself, fact or fiction. So the question has always been, who unalived Tupac? Diddy could be connected to Tupac's unaliving, and his brother Mopreme says that we need to open a new probe into his unaliving. And Diddy is, quote-unquote, high on the list of potential suspects involved in the unaliving of Tupac Shakur, according to Tupac's brother, Mopreme Shakur, who recently spoke on the Piers Morgan Uncensored show about the fatal drive-by pow-powing in 1996 and how his brother's mysterious unaliving deserves a fresh criminal probe. Many theories around the unaliving say that Diddy may have played a part due to his strong links in the rap industry. Tupac's brother, Mopreme, discussed theories around how Sean Diddy Combs allegedly played a part in the hit after the rap mogul was named over 70 times in the latest legal documents around Tupac's unaliving. Diddy has always refuted claims he had any involvement in Tupac's unaliving, but his brother told Piers Morgan that he has doubts over Diddy's staunch denial and believes ending his brother's life involved multiple people planning and coordination. And with Diddy being one of those who may have been behind it, the brother says, over a decade after Tupac's unaliving, Mopreme revealed the man formerly known as Puff Daddy called him to profess his innocence. Recalling the 2008 conversation, Mopreme explained, he's basically said he ain't had nothing to do with my brother's unaliving. And I told him the truth is still yet to come out. So we're gonna see. So here we are 28 years later, and there looks like there's some doubt in that statement. And when asked about Diddy's alleged involvement and the call more in detail, Mopreme doubled down on his suspicions, saying that he wasn't convinced with the rapper's complete denial. He said, I have my doubts. I don't believe it was 100% honest statement. So again, we have to find out what is true and what's false, what's real and what's fake. Piers Morgan responds and says, you think he was lying? And as Mopreme responded, quite possibly, and it's kind of looking that way in my opinion. The theory involving Diddy is quite high on the list, and Mopreme added that he doesn't believe Diddy definitely played a part in the assassination, but that it is a theory that needs to be looked into thoroughly. We're gonna see, just like I told him. I'm not saying nothing until this investigation is over, and then we will see what it is, he said. Everybody knows the suspicions, everybody knows the theories, especially now. People are thinking it might be possible, so we're gonna see. Speaking of people who may have had theories that Diddy had something to do with Tupac's unaliving, explosive audio of Tupac Shakur's suspect Keefe D claims that Diddy orchestrated the rapper's assassination for $1 million. So let's go ahead and listen to that coming up next.
T-Mac told me to Zip got the money. Oh, man.
So he tells you seriously, man, I need to get rid of these guys. And he's looking at you in the eyes and he's like scared.
Yeah. He's scary, dude. Now you would have to conversation with this man, yeah. I mean, we ain't got no pistols. He can't no pistols.
Okay, so he says, you tell him we'll do it for $1 million, and he's like, okay, I'll do it for $1 million.
Yeah.
He agrees to shake on it or something like that.
Yeah.
What happened?
He, like, man, we wiped his ass out quick. You know, it's nothing. So he said that.
Who brought up the amount of $1 million?
He did.
Puffy did?
Yeah.
Okay. What wasn't you?
No, it wasn't me. He called anybody. He called Jeff. And then the next day, he was like, this all good, we got that. Call me. He said, was that right? Okay. Yeah. Then he called while we were doing Wait, so Jeff called you and said, is that right? Maybe it's a Halloween place. I mean, it was a Halloween place. You took the Halloween place and shared all that. Yeah, okay. So let's go back to Vegas. So you're in Vegas, you wake up the next morning.
The jail music kingpin has been linked to Tupac's unaliving for decades due to what prosecutors call a quote-unquote deadly rivalry between Combs' Bad Boy Records and Marion Suge Knight's Death Row Records. Combs headed up the East Coast with rap sensation Biggie as his main artist, whereas Suge dominated the West Coast with Tupac. Suspect Keefe D has also boasted about Diddy allegedly offering him a $1 million reward for the rapper's assassination in a chilling secret police interview. Keefe D, who is 61 years old, appears to be laughing and joking with the police about Diddy orchestrating Tupac's unaliving in September 1996 in Las Vegas. Disturbingly, in the tape, Keefe D, and without any firm evidence, alleges that he oversaw the fatal pow-powing on the request of Diddy. Court documents also allege that after the shooting, Keefe flew to New York with the Los Angeles Police Task Force to pose undercover to try to gather incriminating evidence. And the focus of the operations was to seek information from Sean Combs and another gangster, Eric, quote-unquote, Zip Martin, over the murder. Tupac fans have been waiting for justice for the iconic rapper for almost 28 years. Finally, in September 2023, there appeared to be progress with the arrest of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a former Southside Crip gangster from Compton, LA, who had been telling the world for years that he and his fellow gang soldiers were responsible for the hit. I've been reporting on the case for several years, and it always appeared pretty cut and dry. Keefe has spent the last decade gaining notoriety by boasting about his alleged involvement in the pow-powing, and now he is finally getting what he deserves. But despite Keefe D running his mouth for years, I now believe a guilty verdict in November's trial is far from guaranteed. Keefe D describes in great detail in his memoir, Compton Street Legend, what went down the night that Tupac was shot. He claimed that he was offered $1 million by rapper Diddy to handle Tupac and Suge Knight, and that he and his Crip gangsters came across the pair driving near the Strip in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996. Keefe alleged that he was passed the pow-pow to his nephew Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, who took the shot. Keefe said if Tupac had been on his side, I would have had to blast. Keefe repeated the claims multiple times over the years on YouTube channels, documentaries, and even in taped confessions to police when he believed he could not be prosecuted. In one confession to the LAPD, Keefe appeared completely remorseless, telling detectives, "We didn't give a F. The ambulance for Tupac was parked right here next to us. That ish was as funny as an MFer." Fans, supporters, and reporters sent many links to Keefe D's confessions online to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, asking them why the man had not been arrested yet. They would thank the fans, supporters, and reporters for the information, but say that they could not comment because the case was still active. And from the outside, it looked like no action was being taken at all. And the fans, supporters, and reporters also spoke to former detectives involved in the case and documentary makers who all felt utterly frustrated at the lack of progress in the case. There was even a detective named Detective Katie who had probed the unalivings, urging Las Vegas cops to arrest Keefe back in 2020. And for years, the case appeared to have been forgotten and ignored, to be left forever unsolved. But finally, in the summer of 2023, we got word from our sources that there had been a huge development in the case. A secret grand jury was due to be held on whether or not Keefe should be indicted. And around that same time, a house in Henderson, Nevada, linked to Keefe D was raided in July as a part of the Tupac investigation. Things were heating up. And later that summer, behind closed doors, jurors listened to hours of testimony from former cops, detectives, and coroners involved in the Tupac case, and gangsters and associates of Keefe D's and Tupac's from back in the day. They were shown graphic photos of Tupac's bullet-ridden body. After days of evidence, they decided that there was enough evidence to prosecute Keefe D, and Keefe was then arrested on September 30th of 2023 at his home, and body cam footage we obtained from the scene showed Keefe D bragging to cops, even even as he was handcuffed in the back of a police car, telling officers he was involved in the biggest case in Las Vegas history. Keefe is now desperate to get out of jail, y'all, and his defense is leaning on his claim that he completely made up this involvement in the Tupac murder for fame and money. Keefe D saw other people cashing in on the unaliving of Tupac, so he thought he would too. He reckons his confessions to the police were all lies and he made it up because he was under a plea deal and thought it would help him beat his other charges. And according to his lawyer, Carl Arnold, he wasn't even in Las Vegas on the night of the pow-powing, and Arnold remains convinced that he will see his client walk free and their secret weapon could be former Death Row Records boss Suge Knight. And as the only other person still alive from either car, Suge Knight, currently in prison for a fatal hit and run, will be a key witness. Suge is the only person still alive who knows what went down, and he saw the shooter. And while he's said that he won't testify at the November trial, Suge has claimed in a TMZ interview from prison that Orlando was not the pow-pow, which again throws into doubt Keefe's version of events. Keefe and his lawyer are hoping they might be able to change his mind and persuade him to testify for the defense, and Suge holds the power to blow the prosecution's case apart. And if Keefe walks free, will there ever be justice for Tupac?
Oh, do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting? But I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I have my own opinion. Only they can answer that question. I have things, proofs that I can say that will back up my claim. I believe so. I do believe so. But this is not for the world to know about. So long, sleeping from sofa to sofa. Now I'ma step on these little bitty bitches. Brand new Gucci, low some Gucci walking. I got tired of eating Big Mama's chicken. Now it's business when I want.